give with God. It is more blessed to give than to receive. Jesus. In Acts 20:35, being born into a Buddhist household means so much more to me than just a religious affiliation. It's a deep connection to the ancient traditions and cultural identity of my Vietnamese heritage. Almost like these beliefs are woven into the very fabric of my being. Growing up in Vietnam, where approximately 80% of the population practices Buddhism, I was immersed in a society where these traditions were prevalent, deeply respected, and cherished. It was not just a set of beliefs, but a way of life, influencing everything from our daily routines to our moral compass. My parents believed in Buddha, but our lives were so busy that we hardly ever reached the temple. They worked tirelessly to provide for our family, leaving little room for anything else, including our religious practices. I remember one particular visit to the temple when I was 12 years old. It was a sad occasion. Our uncle had passed away, and it was a time for our family to come together to mourn his loss and pay our respects. The atmosphere at the temple was solemn and peaceful. The smell of incense filled the air, and monks chanting added to the sense of reverence. Watching my family members pray and offer incense at the altar, I felt a profound sense of calm and reflection. Even though we didn't go to the temple often, those visits impacted me. They taught me the importance of pausing and connecting with something greater than myself, even when life got busy. It was a reminder that no matter how hectic things may be, there's always time to be grateful and honor the traditions that have shaped me. My mom, a quiet woman with a deep well of faith, never dragged me to temples or bombarded me with religious teachings. But her belief in Buddha, like the scent of incense on a gentle breeze, subtly filled the air around me. I learned the whispers of 3 powerful truths from her: love, compassion, and tolerance. These weren't abstract concepts. They were woven into the fabric of everyday life. It was in how she offered a kind word to a stranger, helped a lost puppy find its way home, and met anger with understanding. Some might call it karma, while others call it God's grace. For me, it's the simple truth that giving freely without expecting anything in return brings a more profound sense of peace and connection. It's not about multiplying good deeds by 10, but about the quiet satisfaction of knowing you've made a difference, however small. And maybe that's the most important lesson. True generosity often blooms when we give not from our abundance, but from our vulnerability. In those moments of stretching ourselves thin, of offering a helping hand when it might be easier to turn away, we truly connect with something larger than ourselves. This, for me, is the essence of faith. It's not about rigid doctrines or grand pronouncements. It's about the whispers of kindness that guide our actions and leave the world a little brighter in our wake. Back in Vietnam, the lunar calendar punctuated the rhythm of life. Every 1st and 15th day, a familiar hum filled the air. People flocked to the temples, their faces etched with hope and obligation. It felt ingrained in us from childhood. The more you donated, the more likely your prayers would be answered. It was a belief system as constant as the sunrise, almost like cultural hypnosis. But somewhere along the way, my faith took a different turn. It wasn't a dramatic shift, more like a gradual unfolding. I still hold the principle of giving and receiving close to my heart. It's like a cosmic boomerang. The good you send out has a way of circling back, bringing unexpected blessings. A saying stuck with me: give, and God will give you back tenfold. But for me, the true message lies in the act of giving itself, the act of letting go without clinging to the expectation of receiving. There's a special kind of power in giving when you have little to spare. It's easy to be generous when your pockets are full, but genuine compassion shines when you reach out, even when you're struggling. Maybe it's a kind word to a stranger on a lonely day or a helping hand offered when it might be easier to keep walking. These small acts, fueled by empathy rather than abundance, are the whispers of faith that truly resonate with me. My faith doesn't promise a cosmic vending machine where good deeds translate into immediate rewards. It whispers a different truth that God provides. Not always what we crave, but what we truly need. It's a quiet trust, a belief that even when life gets messy, there's a hand unseen guiding us through the storm. So, this is my faith. It's about giving with an open heart, trusting that the universe has a plan, and finding solace in knowing I am not alone. It's a faith that continues to evolve, shaped by my experiences and the whispers of a higher power guiding me through life's journey. As I grew older, I became engaged to my future husband. To be accepted into his family, I had to attend church Bible school and become a Catholic before his father would give us his blessing to marry. His father, a strict and devoted Catholic who was also a politician and a senator, required this of his children. I attended church regularly on Sundays with my fiancé's family and learned from Catholic practices, including the belief that the more one donates, the more likely their prayers will be answered. However, our relationship ended in a breakup. I realized that this was not in alignment with the teachings of God or Buddha, but rather with the teachings of the monk and the bishop. This realization led me to reevaluate my beliefs and the path I wanted to follow. Love was once the melody of my days, filling them with joy and anticipation. But that melody turned into a discordant screech when I discovered the painful truth about my fiancé. The man I thought I would spend forever with was a walking betrayal, shattering my heart into a million pieces. The pain was more than just emotional. It was a physical ache that seemed never to go away, a constant throbbing in my chest. How could something so beautiful turn so ugly? It felt like the very foundation of my beliefs was crumbling beneath me. I found myself withdrawing from everything, heartbroken and disillusioned, that I once held dear. Visits to the temple and church, which used to bring me solace, now felt empty and meaningless. I couldn't understand why Buddha and God hadn't protected me from such a cruel twist of fate. My faith, once solid and unwavering, began to falter. I traded prayers for plane tickets in search of healing and embarked on a journey of self-discovery around the world. During this time, while staying with a friend in Canada, I met Peter. His kindness was like a ray of sunshine, melting the icy bitterness that had taken hold of my heart. Our connection grew slowly and naturally, without any grand gestures or Hollywood romance. 6 months later, we were living together. A year later, we were married, and our love story was a testament to new beginnings and unexpected blessings. And then, the greatest gift of all arrived: our 2 beautiful children, whose laughter filled our home with joy. Through Peter's steadfast faith, I was drawn back to a belief system I thought I had lost. His devotion reignited a tiny spark within me, and I began exploring my spirituality again. This time, it was different. It wasn't about blind faith or expecting miracles. It was about finding a quiet trust and belief that even in the darkest moments, there is a guiding hand. Today, my faith combines my experiences, losses, and love. It's a belief that anything is possible with God by my side. It's a foundation that holds strong through life's storms. A constant reminder that I'm never truly alone, even when I stumble. Faith can influence people in various ways, as it influenced me, impacting their beliefs, values, behaviors, and overall well-being. Here are some key ways in which faith can influence individuals. 1. Beliefs and values. Faith often shapes people's beliefs about the world, themselves, and others. It can provide a framework for understanding life's purpose, meaning, and morality. Faith can also influence values such as compassion, forgiveness, and gratitude. 2. Behavior and lifestyle. Faith can impact how a person behaves and lives. For example, it may influence their dietary choices, social interactions, and ethical decision-making. Faith can also motivate individuals to engage in charitable activities, volunteer work, or community service. 3. Coping and resilience. Faith can provide comfort and strength during difficult times. Believers may turn to their faith for support, guidance, and hope in adversity. Faith can also foster resilience, helping individuals bounce back from challenges and setbacks. 4. Health and well-being. Research suggests faith can positively affect health and well-being. For example, studies have found that religious involvement is associated with lower rates of depression, anxiety, and substance abuse. Faith can also promote a sense of purpose and meaning in life, linked to better overall health. 5. Community and social connections. Faith communities often provide a sense of belonging and social support. Believers may form strong bonds with others who share their faith, leading to a sense of community and connection. 6. Ethical and moral framework. Faith can provide a moral and ethical framework for decision-making. It can guide individuals in determining right from wrong and help them navigate complex ethical dilemmas. Every day, God grants us the gift of life and time. He listens to our prayers, our requests, and our needs. When we seek Him, we see a God who provides for us, not necessarily in the way we expect or want, but in the way that fulfills our needs. God's provision is not about giving us everything we desire, but what is essential for our growth, well-being, and journey through life. He knows us better than we know ourselves, and He provides us with pearls of wisdom and a love that surpasses our understanding. When we trust in God's provision, we learn to let go of our wants and embrace His gifts with gratitude. We begin to see that what we need often differs from what we think we want, and that God's plan for us is far greater than anything we could imagine. When we give generously and sacrificially, it's not because God lacks anything or needs our offerings. Instead, it's a way to express our love and gratitude towards Him. Giving is not just an act of obedience. It reflects our trust in God's provision and a source of increasing joy as we witness His blessings. God values our worship and recognizes those who come to Him with sincere hearts. He sees beyond the material gifts and looks at the intentions and motivations behind our actions. When we give with a heart full of love and gratitude, God takes notice and blesses us in ways we may not even expect. So giving is a way for us to align our hearts with God and participate in His work of love and provision in the world. It's a way for us to acknowledge that everything we have is a gift from Him and to show our thankfulness by giving back to others in need. This concept entails letting go of our egotistical desires and needs. It's about giving love without expecting anything in return and not chasing after materialistic wants to find satisfaction. Instead, it's about being present in the moment, finding happiness in simply being without needing external validation or possessions. When we surrender our ego-driven desires, we can discover our true selves and share our authentic, positive selves with others. This allows us to enjoy life and experience true fulfillment genuinely. By letting go of fear and negativity rooted in ego-based desires, we can find true joy and contentment in life's simple pleasures. This mentality revolves around a deep trust in God's plan and providence, especially in situations beyond our control. For example, when faced with the challenge of spreading the gospel to someone uninterested, it's about surrendering the outcome to God's will. trusting that if that person is meant to be saved, it will happen according to His plan. Similarly, when confronted with a bill that seems impossible to pay, it's about trusting that God will provide a solution, even if it's unclear how. This mindset encourages us not to worry excessively about things beyond our control, but instead praise God and have faith that there is a reason for everything that happens. It's also about recognizing that many things we often worry about are not essential in the grand scheme. What truly matters is showing love, patience, and care for others, as these values reflect God's teachings. By focusing on these aspects, we can trust that God will take care of the rest, guide us through life's challenges, and provide for our needs in His perfect timing. Here's how you can expand on the idea of giving generously and sacrificially. 1. Giving beyond the obvious. Time and talent. While financial contributions are essential, giving doesn't stop there. Consider volunteering at a local soup kitchen, mentoring a child, or using your skills to help someone in need. Maybe you're a graphic designer who can donate your services to a nonprofit, or a musician who can play at a charity event. Simple acts of kindness. Sometimes, the most impactful giving is in the small gestures, offering a helping hand to a neighbor, paying for the coffee of the person behind you in line, or simply listening with a compassionate ear are all ways to show generosity. 2. Finding the joy in giving. Shifting your perspective. Move away from giving as a sacrifice and see it as an opportunity for growth and connection. Focus on the joy of helping others and the positive impact you can make. Witnessing the ripple effect. When you give generously, it often creates a ripple effect. Your act of kindness might inspire someone else to give, creating a chain reaction of positivity. Look for opportunities to be part of something bigger than yourself. The power of gratitude. Giving allows you to express gratitude for your blessings. Helping others makes you more aware of your good fortune and cultivates a sense of thankfulness. 3. Make giving a habit. Start small. You don't have to overhaul your life to be generous. Begin by incorporating small acts of giving into your daily routine. Donate a few dollars to a cause you care about each month. Volunteer for a couple of hours a week. Or make a conscious effort to be kind to those around you. Embrace the unexpected. Be open to opportunities for giving that arise spontaneously. Maybe you encounter someone struggling with groceries. Offer to help them carry their bags. Perhaps you witness a random act of kindness. Pay it forward by doing something nice for the next person you meet. Giving as a family. Involve your family in your giving practices. Volunteer together, discuss causes you care about as a unit, and encourage your children to develop a generous spirit from a young age. Following these tips, you can move beyond simply giving and make generosity a core principle. Remember, it's not about how much you give, but the spirit of giving that truly matters.